Welcome to Wednesday Night Live. I'm your forever host, even though I'm not always here every single week anymore, but fuck it, I'm here today. Tom motherfucking Bruno from What's the Difference podcast, part of the USUK network. I'm going to introduce you to a couple of my other friends that I have sitting in the back. You know him, you love him. He's British, he's big, and I mean big. Mr. Alex Whiteley.
And the crowd goes wild.
And furiously masturbating. Oh, the crowd doesn't do that? All right, my bad.
Oh.
And coming all the way from across the country, a man that literally needs no introduction, but I'm going to give him one anyways. He is a scholar. He is a Harvard graduate. He is a male stripper. I'm pretty sure they based the movie Magic Mike on him. Welcome, Mr. David Rahabe.
I am none of those things. How's it going, guys?
I'm good. We are still waiting for our guest. He's just coming in now, so we'll just chat for a bit. We'll just talk. So obviously today we're going to be speaking to a man of Star Wars. He's coming from Star Wars, and so we were talking about episode 1.
I'm ready.
I really thought that was your pick for like 2 seconds. I was like,
it's really white. Yeah,
he's like,
doesn't see the sun. Don't get out much.
Yeah, okay. So what I was saying about Star Wars is our guest actually was in episode 1. You will find out all about that when he's actually here. But I watched episode 1, 2, and 3 recently. I watched them last week.
The prequels. Yeah.
To the prequels. I watched the prequels. I want to give them another shot. You know, I mean, without trying to be shitty about it, it definitely is not, you know, what it's not the greatest thing, but it's still Star Wars. But
I like it a lot.
You like what, all 3 of them?
The prequels, I really enjoyed them.
I don't know, man. That Darth Vader is not very Darth Vader at the end of it, dude. That was pretty, like, it. I mean, the only thing. Okay, so here's the thing that I really dug about that thing was, you know how the entirety Anakin's sitting there always huddling like he's fucking cold throughout the entirety of it.
Yeah.
I like the fact that now when you go back and watch the other movies, whenever Darth Vader crosses his arms, you can think back to Anakin being like, fuck, it's cold. I love that a little bit because he comes from such a warm planet that everywhere is fucking cold to him. So that's awesome. Yeah. Even in the suit, he still does it. I like that. Now, episode 1, I like a lot because I listened to I never read anything. Listened to the book of the Darth Plagueis, who is the Plagueis, thank you, who is Emperor Dickface. So Emperor Dickface fucking trained Darth Sidious, aka Emperor Palpatine, and like at one point he really refers to the fact that Palpatine uses his politics as the real weapon. Like he's like, you're a Sith Lord. You can use a lightsaber, you can use all the electricity and stuff, but your real powers in politics. And they kind of set that up like in that book really well. So when you go back and watch the prequels, all the kind of like boring democratic stuff that, you know, the rise of power of Palpatine,
the politics stuff, it's like
yeah, but if you listen to this book, it makes it even better because every single time it's like a swift swipe with a fucking lightsaber when he takes out another. Oh, there's the Separatists. Oh, there's fucking the Republic. Oh, we're all gonna be an empire now because I'm gonna save you. And they look at this fucking freak, this horribly scarred monster, and they're like, yo,
I'm scarred.
Yes, dude, it was kind of fucked, but I enjoyed it a lot. You know, I remember being very little. And not very, I was like 11 or something, and I watched episode 1, and that's after I saw, you know, the re-release of Star Wars, because I did that like a year or 2 prior,
and give you a fresh, you're like, holy shit. Yeah.
So like as a kid, episode 1 works extremely well. Like even my kids who watched episode 1 with me, they love Jar Jar. They're like, oh, that's so funny and stuff. So it still works.
I've stuck up for episode 1 forever because I think it's a brilliant way of they mix a bit of fun, a bit of bright love, you know, nice sort of that those bright colors and the fun with the pod racing and then with that dark sinister. There's moments in that film that take you by surprise, like, you know, like when like Qui-Gon is speaking to Anakin's mom about possibly never seeing her son again. And it's like they're just having this conversation. But when you think about it, you're kind of like, that's a heartbreaking thing for a mother to decide. Like, you know,
not for her. She's like, get this fucking kid out of here. Do you have any meal rations I get a day? Like one. I split that between this little. Listen,
if he stays here, he's going to become a slave too. So get him out of here.
he's got that dirty blood. All right, I can't have that.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll get infected. These midichlorians you keep talking about. I don't have a diabetic reader to know what my count's at. So get him the fuck out of here. Which also comes into play in the Darth Plagueis book because he's the one that made Plagueis. He's the one that made fucking Anakin. Like he talks about near the end of it, how he uses the Force to create a being. He Jesused his way into being.
Because even his mom said it. Like there was no father for Anakin. She just got like one was pregnant, and he's like, "What the fuck?"
Lies. She was trying to bag herself a fucking Jedi, and she's like, "Nope, this pussy hasn't been touched. Never.
She's like, got
one. I'm taking hot fucking dick every other day to pay off a bill. You don't even want to know what I do with that flying insect motherfucker. The places he's been. Do you know how many
Watto
dicks he
or some
has?
shit like that. What was his name?
Yeah, Watto. Watto's got a Watto dick.
Give my regards to your mother.
All of a sudden, he's like, Watto's like,
you hear the flapping of his wings.
wait, do the line from fucking Forrest Gump where he's like, your mother sure cares about your say like Watto. Say like Watto.
Oh, do you like Watto?
Yeah.
Oh fuck.
Right, before we get into
I can't fucking do it. I wouldn't know how.
Annie, your mother really cares about you. No, I can't do it either. Fuck. Sorry, Alex.
Okay, no, it's okay. I think Andrew's here. I think.
Oh, thank God,
Okay.
we can ask him.
I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll play this VT. So we've got a VT to share just to show you exactly who we've got on our show today. I think he's there now. We're going to play this VT to introduce our guest, and then we'll introduce him properly. So roll VT, I guess. Here we go. Oh, okay. I think that was it.
I was like, is there more?
That was just.
I was like, holy shit.
Good job I wasn't picking my nose.
I thought he was going to chop that kid's head off. He's like, fucking take you out.
Oh, God.
Um,
Ladies and
that was
gentlemen,
awesome.
Andrew Lawden. Here we go.
Is he loaded in? There he is.
He's here. He's here.
Hello.
Hiya.
Hello.
How are you? How are you?
Whoa.
No, I'm not. My other half's moaning about something. Hello, boys. How are you? What
Doing all right.
happened to the
Yourself?
clip? You didn't play it all.
I don't know. I don't know what happened. What we'll do is we'll just cut out.
Do you
Just
know
cut
how
out.
much time I spent getting that together?
Hours.
What we can do is we'll have some we'll have
Those
a bit of fun. for a
bloody
bit, and then-
Ewoks. Right, I'm going to have word with Baby Yoda. I'm not having this.
Baby Yoda.
Oh,
Bringing up Baby Yoda. Little bastard.
Yeah.
Did you? By the way, Tom, did you watch that
Yeah.
episode 2 of?
Yeah.
I did.
So-
And there's like quite the controversy about that episode already. Fucking a whole lot of talk about genocide, and they're like, "Yo, is it acceptable that the child commits genocide on an entire species?" And by the way, I don't want to get like shitty about it, but when it comes to like people taking care of problems like that, I'm pro-choice. So I'm just saying, like, without the thing becoming an actual frog, is it really genocide?
I mean, we eat caviar, right? That's like fish eggs.
Yeah.
So
Caviar is really good.
Should have fuck up, bitches. Stop complaining. Now, Andrew, I met you. I think it's about 18 months ago.
You
at
sound
the,
like a bloody bunch of drag queens.
We are.
Well, I've been known to don the wig and the makeup from time to time.
He does look pretty cute in it too.
I do. Andrew, I met you at Comic Salopia in Shrewsbury. We had a few drinks together in the opening ceremony.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Shane. Shane. How is he? I hear he's
Shane
not been well. He was telling me he's not been well.
Yeah, he's on and off with his illness. He does a podcast with me called The Weekly Bazaar every week, and we've got him on about 4 sick notes. I think he's one more from a written warning. So he's a good guy, Shane is. He's fantastic.
Really? Is it that bad? Oh no! Is it that bad?
I think he's okay. I think he's on and off with her. I mean, he's probably watching today. So, Shane, give us a thumbs up if you are watching the show today. So yeah,
Shane. Yeah.
Talk to us about your entry into sort of acting and how you managed to get to where you were, sort of beginning of sort of episode 1, and what it took for you.
Oh, my entry into acting and how that got to episode 1.
Yes.
Okay, that probably covers about a 10-year period.
Wow.
Oh God, let me see. I was doing drama at school, and I really enjoyed it. And I didn't really sort of like. Well, I did like other things, but I didn't really like them. And I was kind of stuck. What I was going to do, so I thought, give it a go. I thought, okay, well, if I'm going to do this properly. So I got some advice from the drama tutors, and they said, well, you'd have to go to drama school and train properly if you really wanted to work professionally. So I got some pieces together, and I auditioned the drama school, and I got in. I was very lucky. I got into 3 drama schools, so I had a choice. And I ended up in lovely Cardiff at the Royal Welsh College of Music and Drama, which now is famous for doing Doctor Who and everything. Time was kind of having a bit of a renaissance as a capital city. I remember with fondness going to do movement classes down in the Docklands at Cardiff, and the Docklands in Cardiff back in the late 80s, which is when I trained, late 80s, early 90s. Wasn't exactly the trendy fight it is today, shall we say. So yeah, it was quite an interesting 3 years. I didn't think that we did enough training wise, because there were things changing in the profession whilst I was there, and I did kind of feel that there were certain things I had to play catch up on when we came out into the big wide world. But I came to London. I managed to get an agent. Started working in the theatre, doing a mixture of very interesting new plays. And then within about a year and a half, I got a really nice job just outside London in Windsor, doing Shakespeare's Taming of the Shrew, which is, I suppose, like my first sort of proper like rep theatre job. And I also got my first telly, which was in that wonderful police drama series, The Bill.
Yay, I love The Bill.
Which I put to good use. Yeah, it was good fun. I think I partly got the reason, but I partly got the job because I'm a qualified motorcycle rider. And I had a tiny part being interviewed by one of the leads. I was a bike courier who got in the middle of a scene and asked if I knew anything about what was going on with something.
I love those interviews.
That was basically it, you know.
When I'm playing like with my little boy, and we're doing like cops and robbers or something like that, I always put on that typical kind of Bill. You're Nick, son, because those interviews and the interactions between the police and the people being interviewed or the suspects was always so. It was so Bill, right?
Yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah. I think with me it was more, "Oi, come here!" or something like that. Yeah, you know.
So
Yeah.
how did
in that wonderful location in the back end of Wimbledon that doubled as Sunhill Police Station.
It's a lot of fun. I mean, you're coming up as an actor, and are you always looking for those big roles when you're at that stage, or is it just like anything that you can get your hands on at the moment at that time?
I was, because I knew that I'd been classically trained, so the instinct was to go and work in classical theatre, which I did a few productions of. I really wanted to join something like the RSC or the National, and despite news interviews, I still done that. It seems a job. I did have this career path where I saw myself sort of in RSC, because I used to watch people like Hugh Corshey and Sean Bean and Victoria Hamilton and Kenneth Branagh and Emma Thompson and oh God, who else was there then? Greg Hicks, Harriet Walter, all kind of people. But it seems to be one of the elusive jobs, and it's kind of ironic. I think Star Wars very much has an element of Shakespeare or classicism, and it just relocated to space, really.
Yeah.
So I knew that, so I pursued that, and I wanted to do, and still do. I wanted to do amazing things. I think I'm kind of the mad actor that if somebody comes up and says, "We've got this idea for this thing in a show," or "We've got this dance thing," or "We've got this bit where somebody has to jump off a 10-foot platform and end up in a pile of goo," I'm going to go, "Oh, that sounds fun. I'll do that," you know. And so I slowly got to learn and do lovely little things. And I think it was this that kind of got me my first film. Well, weirdly enough, it got me my first film job because I used to, when I was up in London, in between acting jobs, I used to go clubbing a lot. I used to work in a bar, so I got to know the people in a couple of the local nightclubs because they used to come and drink in the bar before going to work. And at the nightclub, there was a load of fashion people that I got to know. I swear blind, I think it partly helped me getting my first big film audition, which weirdly enough, and I say weirdly enough, was for Ghostbusters 2.
Whoa.
Oh shit.
For some reason but I don't put it on my CV because sadly, although I ended up getting the job, it was cut from the film, which is a real shame because back in the day, you had one of those jobs where you kind of thought you'd made it. For some reason, they looked for they were looking for a group of tall, fit guys to play members of a gang. And ask me why they were doing some casting here. This was back in the day when you used to go to auditions through hotels, would you believe? And you'd walk in a room and there'd be somebody with a big VHS film camera on a tripod that would film you doing something. And so I rocked up the audition with I was quite sort of fit and muscle. I turned up in this kind of like tie pair of 501 jeans and a black Rambo-like tank top and a flipping bandana on my head to do this audition. I kid you not, I've still got the black and white publicity photo because that was a sort of a look back then that kind of worked for certain jobs. weird to get me seen a lot for musicals, and I've never worked out why, but and I got the job. I got the job, and I got whisked off on a plane to Los Angeles, put up in a hotel. I was in Los Angeles I was there for about a week. I extended my stay for a few days because I only ended up working about one day. And I was literally in one scene where Bill Murray and Harold Ramis were in downtown LA, and they were looking in this hole in the road looking for the River of Time, which is still in the film.
Yeah.
And they paired me up with this nice Mexican actress. And we were basically like the sort of the gang members in the hood. And all we had to do was say a few improv lines of dialogue to Bill Murray and Harold Ramis, who were basically improvising the scene, because they were basically on our turf. And that was my job. It was, can you do this? Watching that was just of course, it was Ivan Reitman buzzing around first. And that's it. That's basically, but sadly it got cut.
Oh, it's just an absolute shame.
But I stayed in LA, and I had a look around LA, and I enjoyed LA. But I came back and I really thought I'd made it. I thought, my God, I'm like 18 months out of drama school, and I've just done my first Hollywood film, and then got told 3-4 months later that the scene was cut.
Damn.
Never mind. Sometimes it goes that way. But it did become a very known as like learning about film auditions and how film works, because the next job I got called in for was Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, which again I got, and this time everything I did ended up in the final cut.
Nice.
That was great. That was lovely. Especially when you get to learn off people like Morgan Freeman and Alan Rickman and Costner and
Alan Rickman in that film is just legendary.
People.
I love him.
Alan Rickman, anything, he's always legendary. He's like, "Hello, I'm Alan Rickman."
I have, yeah. They were lovely to watch. I was like the young kid who couldn't believe his luck, walking around all these sets. And I used to love watching them work. And I have a very fond memory about Alan being really polite. I was sort of a young kid who'd got few lines in the film job, and I turned up like really keen and punctual, and it's like I was on the set and I did something like that, so like, "Hello, I'm here, I'm playing the sergeant." And Alan read somebody's going, and he goes, "Oh, hello, I'm Alan." And he said, "Why don't you go and sit down over there and make yourself a cup of tea? They're running a bit behind." And it was really funny. It was like, okay.
Far better than
happens on film. They were all watching the scene. And yeah, that was that was great fun. And then there was, so that happened on the first day. That was lovely. That was a lovely, a nice welcome. The following day, I got to do some work, and we were doing a scene at Shepperton. I was on guard duty, and it was the bit where Friar Tuck and Azim, played by Mike McShane and Morgan Freeman, blagged their way into the castle with all the gunpowder to go and blow up the castle towards the end of the film. And what was in the script was a bit clunky, and so the director said, "Could we improvise a few things in the scene?" Which was a godsend, because having somebody like Mike McShane around, who was brilliant at improvising, the guy from Who's Lines Anyway. We started trying, but they asked me to kind of do you shove the leper around, and can you run it? At one point they sort of said, can you push him away because he's a leper, or sort of kick him up the arse, which I did do. not knowing, of course, that beneath all the bandages, it was Morgan Freeman. So I sort of did this 2 or 3 improvisation one where I hit him up the arse, only for them to sort of say cut. And he goes, sits down back in the wagon and pulls off the bandages, and it's like, oh God. And I went up to him and I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm really, really sorry. I didn't mean that. And it was that thing of, oh, that's fine. It was pretty good what you did. And, shitting myself, I thought, I'm fired. I'm so fired. Day 2 or 3 on the job, and I'm like, I'm kicking Morgan Freeman's ass. So magic of film, eh?
Absolutely.
And the reason I'm telling this story is because there were loads of one of the interesting how all things lead to other things in other jobs. Because on that film, there was a guy who was a stuntman called Nick Gillard, and Nick Gillard became the fight stunt coordinator on Star Wars on the prequel trilogy. And 7 years later, when we were doing the Star Wars auditions, I went to do the fight audition, and he was running the fight audition. And he said to me, he was looking at me, he said, I know you from somewhere. And I thought, yeah, you look really familiar. And we couldn't work out where we knew each other from. There was a bit of recognition. And so it's about what we'd worked on. And we realized that we worked on Robin Hood. But we'd never really spoke. We were just sort of around, and people being around. Sometimes that's kind of how it works, that you end up on jobs because people remember you from stuff, and they remember what you did or what you could do, or, you know, and that I believe is partly what got me the job on Stalls. And eventually, well, the initial was a bit of a mystery. I did fight, and then I turned the first thing off of me said no. Looking back, I thought I probably shouldn't. I'd done a couple of TV jobs, and I was basically offered one of the Jedi Council, and I didn't want to spend 2-3 hours a day in makeup or be a character sitting there going or something like that. Because I thought, I want to be a part player. I'm an actor. I want to do this, and little knowing how all this stuff would eventually be 20 years down. And I look back, and I used to slightly kick myself. It's like, well, you weren't to know what was going to happen. Had I actually said yes to that job, I would have probably also ended up in episodes 2 and 3, gone to Australia, have all that. And I think Jerome Blake ended up playing the job, who's also a big guy like. But they offered me one of the Naboo Royal Federation guards, who were essentially like the royal bodyguard to Queen Amidala. And I thought, great, that'll be fun. You know, so I turned up on day 1 and got the costume, only to feel a bit of a sense of letdown, having done the fight audition, which was obviously going to be sort of lightsaber technique based. Even though you didn't actually get a lot, you kind of got this pole with a sort of bit of a foot long. I need to be given a plastic blaster gun. I was like, okay, maybe not. But hey, you know, you're in Star Wars, you got a job, and after about 3 days of doing bits of soldiering, which was quite interesting, I got pulled aside, and I thought, oh, hello, am I in trouble? Because bizarrely, if they pull you to one side, you're in trouble. I don't know why. Apparently, a lot of actors, this is very common. But they actually turned around and said, so how would you feel about being a stand-in double for Liam Neeson as Qui-Gon Jinn? And I said, Yeah, great, fine. Not really knowing what I was going to do.
Everything.
And then the next thing I know, they were saying that basically you have to do all these bits that he does, but in long and like mid shots. Really? Oh, so I'm kind of like a film understudy, and I get to play his part. Yeah, I'll do that. What's this? Is there anything you can do? Action. Switch to 4G. It's a bit slow.
Yeah, we're having a few
Okay,
connections.
how do I switch to 4G?
Okay, so if you swipe down on your phone or your device,
How do I switch to 4G?
are you using your phone?
Top. I'm on the laptop.
Oh, okay, so you won't have 4G. It's just a bit slow.
I'm on a
that's all. It's fine.
computer.
It's okay. We'll soldier on through. We'll soldier on through. It might stabilize.
Okay, to switch to the phone.
No. We'll carry on going.
I'm fairly near a hub as well.
Yeah, it's okay. It's just one of those things. British Wi-Fi, eh?
So that's
British
basically how I ended up doing like 2 jobs on Star Wars. Yeah, we should be in South Korea, you know. South Korea is the place to be. Walking a phone bar, 100 meg standard, boom, you know. And that was basically how I ended up doing 2 jobs on Star Wars and seeing things from a very different perspective. And the great caveat, of course, is that getting to watch people like Liam and Ewan and most of the others work. Watching Ray, some of the fight bits was to watch.
Ray Parker is a lot of fun. Yeah, he's a good guy.
With Mr. Lucas the Menace. Yeah, he is actually. He's quite incredible to watch. He really, you can see why he was cast in that role, and it's very hard to imagine anybody else doing that job.
Yeah,
it's very hard. Even at one point, because when we're going back 20 years, I did wonder if they'd approach Jean-Claude Van Damme, because he was the only person I could think of who could possibly do some of the things he did.
Question for you, sir. Is it is it a
Question.
little
Question,
yes
question.
yes me is it a little scary taking on a role that, I mean, at the time you couldn't have known was going to be as huge as it became, but Qui-Gon's like a very beloved character, was a little intimidating to do?
Was it intimidating? No, I didn't really see it like that. I saw it as kind of a job where I would learn, because it wasn't something I'd really done. Well, I say that, but because I'd understudied in theatre, I kind of took that approach. I saw it very much as like an understudy role, so that I would approach it that I was playing the role as near to what he was doing, because that's the tweak, but at the same time trying to eat the role itself. Because at the end of the day, they're shooting it with a technical medium. Yeah, that's me. And that's a green screen backdrop, by the way.
Oh, it's not.
That's not actually Ray.
Wait, so you didn't go to Tatooine? That's not a real lightsaber?
No, it's not.
Got it. No, that's an aircraft hangar in Leavesden. Incidentally, here's a bit of trivia. Have any of you been on the Harry Potter tour at Leavesden? Warner Brothers Studios, Leavesden.
No, I have not. I don't know why I said yes for that.
Yeah? No?
No.
Who said yes?
No, we have not. Tom said yes. I don't know why.
I don't know why either.
Okay.
He just wanted to be a part of the conversation, I think.
Right. If you go on the tour, right, you are walking on the sets of Star Wars Episode 1.
Wow.
Oh.
You are, when you're on that tour, you're walking in the aircraft hangar, you're walking in the place where they had the famous Duel of the Fates, you're walking in the Jedi
what?
Council room, walking in the British starships, you're walking in the Gungan underwater city. All that was on the sets where that tour is.
Nice.
Damn Harry Potter.
Ruining all the Star
He's
Wars
actually
out
really angry. Look at his face. I love that.
Do you know?
It ruined it.
Do you know there's a joke? Do you know there's a conspiracy theory that Harry Potter is the prototype lightsaber with the wand?
Yeah, that makes sense.
There are people that actually talk about this. That the wizards in Harry Potter are the prototype knights.
Okay, so I got to ask a question that it's kind of bugged me for a few weeks actually. We've got a friend Brian Plado who played the double for Death in the new Bill and Ted movie. He's a great guy, good fan of the show. Probably watching right now actually. But I brought up the fact that okay, so this guy's attached to this movie. He worked in it, really enjoyed it. But I was like, I watched the film and I wasn't too keen on it. And the hurt that he felt from me saying I wasn't too keen on the movie. Do you get attached to movies that you made, and can it be, because Episode 1 very famously has had slack for years, lots of slack off the fans.
Do I get on?
Sorry?
You always want to be good and successful in an ideal world. But I think with Episode 1 is one of those films that has actually got better every time it's been edited. Because it's been re-edited now twice. And I think it's one of those films that, sadly, we may never see a full version of the film because George loved it so much. He had so much story going on in his head. There's about 6-7 footage. There is stuff that I've shot that I've never actually seen the light of day.
Oh, shit.
I mean, the Naboo Royal Guard and the Naboo soldiers are kind of like shot a bit. And I mean, kind of one of the things I've never worked out is in episodes 2 and 3, they kind of phased out, disappear. And you think, why? Because, you know, Queen Amidala is still around, so why wouldn't she have a royal guard? Why wouldn't she have her people? You know.
You've been directed by two of the greatest directors that probably have ever lived or will ever live, George Lucas and Harold Ramis. What's that like?
Have I?
Yeah, as far as I know, didn't they direct those films?
Well,
Harold
George
Ramis.
Lucas. Sorry.
I was correcting Tom. He said Harold
Harold
Ramis. I said
Ramis.
Harold Ramis. Yeah.
Correct me, David.
Harold Ramis. Harold. Isn't it Ivan Reitman, the director?
Was it? Oh yeah, it was, wasn't it?
I mean,
Well, I
Ivan
don't know what the fuck I thought. I don't know why I thought about that. Sorry, excuse me.
I think he
pardon me.
wrote. I think he
Harold
wrote
Ramis is the
Ghostbusters.
guy who died. He was the Ghostbuster. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's me being me being stupid.
Ivan Reitman. I'll be brutally honest. Ivan Reitman was around, but he didn't really sort of direct a great deal. He sort of let Bill and Harold sort of kind of do their thing, and the first AD was kind of calling the shots a lot. So I didn't really have much to do with him, but I did have a fair bit to do with George Lucas because George did shots and the long shots and thin shots of quite. And he was lovely because he's a really ordinary guy. He's like a bloke who runs an ironmonger's. And he turns up and he's got this amazing sort of detailed love of the Star Wars world in his head. Unfortunately, sometimes there's a little bit too much detail kind of going on, and you have to cut through the wood to get to the trees. But I don't mean that in a nasty way. It's just his love and his detail is like unbelievable.
But he owes you a lot of money for all the scenes
Seriously.
you filmed for him. So
Yeah.
Pardon?
he owes you a lot of money for all the scenes you filmed for him.
Jokes.
Yep. It's really weird because I still kind of have a life on the film now because, I spend part of my life going halfway around the world, meeting the fans and running hopeful. I had a meeting for the new films. I had a general meet, and I met J.J. Abrams very briefly.
Oh, wow.
But for some reason, I didn't get used in any of the last films, which is a shame.
Yeah.
But I just try and do something on the Obi-Wan prequel.
Ooh, that'd be nice.
Which could be more likely because there's rumors that. Well, I know they're trying to find a way of getting Keegan to come back. And because it's a prequel series, it could happen. It kind of depends if Liam wants to do it, really.
And we need you back, honestly. Shit.
And the other, well, yeah, if they bring Liam back, they'll probably bring me back. But again, it depends. You see, I was gradually sort of building a career when I did Star Wars. Bear in mind, it's like 22 years since we actually shot the film. So I was a bit of a fairly young sprog when I did the job. And, I'm kind of more established and a bit more known now. And I mean, yes, it would be good to do that job again, but I think that would only happen if they actually gave me something properly in the film, like I had before.
Yeah. You're more the seasoned actor now, aren't you? You've got the experience.
Yeah, and you sort of you kind of get used to working hard and having the chance to do some bigger and more interesting roles. I would very much love to work on The Mandalorian because I think that's a very interesting, different world. I could very much see it happening. But now going to be doing this Jedi Origin thing, the Old Republic, aren't they?
I've heard of that, and
it all becomes a bit.
And they're doing a Jango Fett. Is it Jango Fett? Boba Fett? Which one? They're doing a series based on him, aren't they? So.
Oh, Boba Fett is what they're doing.
Boba Fett, yeah, they're going to do like a series based on him and what.
I think the Jango Fett thing is going to come Mandalorian somewhere. I think that's one of the plans.
Well, Jango Fett's been.
I don't know. I mean, everything. Things work.
Oh, this delay! I love this. It's great.
Sorry?
Right, so after episode 1,
Jango Fett's what?
I was trying to think. I was like, Jango Fett's like, I think he's been gone for a while. I think it would be Boba Fett. That would be, the.
I might. Do I need to go on the phone? Is it really playing up bad?
I mean, you can try it if you like. It might actually work a bit better. It's just there's a bit of a time delay. What I would love to talk to you about is I'd love to talk to you about your Jedi.
I have got to be on the phone.
Okay.
Hold on. Let's see if we can do some magic.
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
Because we're all struggling a bit here, aren't we?
What we'll do is while you're doing that, we're gonna have a look at some of the pictures that you've sent. So this is you in
the Star Wars gi. Looks like that was badass, dude.
Yeah. And then here's a photo from the set.
Yes, that is my I'm the big guy on the end.
Yeah, that's there. And then
how tall are you?
If in doubt, I'm 6'4".
Fucking giant. Jesus Christ.
Okay, so if you go to the messages on your phone, just click the link. It might throw you in as a separate person, and then I'll remove the one and put you in the other. If that makes sense. We've still got 15 minutes. We've got plenty of time for conversation.
Enter the studio.
That's right. Yeah, enter the studio.
Enter the studio. Use camera, microphone, allow. I think I'm working. I'll put Andrew.
Put Qui-Gon.
There we go. There we go. Hello, hello, hello.
Shall I shut this down now?
Holy shit! Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Shut the other one down.
Coming out of that one. I'm coming out of that one, and we're now exclusively.
Hey, that's better. Look at that.
That's a lot better. There we go.
Ding dong.
So much better.
There he is.
So much better. Hey. Hi. How are you? Okay, so let's talk a bit about sort of after episode 1, because when I first met you, was at Comic Salopia, obviously, and you were doing the Jedi school, the Padawan training school, which was on the VT, which we will play again. We'll play that at the end of the show. So can we talk about what happened there and what you've been doing with that?
Hang on, drop the phone.
He's dropping.
Well, that was a bit crap, wasn't it?
That's all right.
We always
God, don't give this man a lightsaber, quick! Crikey. Yeah, that doesn't usually happen. So the Jedi Fight Academy. Yeah, you were saying.
Yeah, what is that? Explain to us what you've been doing with that, because it looks a lot of fun.
So the Jedi Fight Academy is something that has evolved from something I was asked to do as a one-off in Germany. Would you believe? I'd been invited to an event in Germany, and there was a guy. There was a guy there called Albrecht, who I'll never forget. Albrecht had basically he was part of a sort of a cosplay martial art fight group. But Albrecht had basically learned the Darth Maul double lightsaber weapon fight, and they said, "Could you two do a bit of a knockabout?" So I thought, okay, yeah, I'm sure I can remember a few bits and pieces. So we put together like a few moves, and they took pictures, and somebody took a little video of it and put it up on Facebook. And then what happened was that when I started getting booked for some of the other events, a couple of people had said, "Oh, that looks really good. Can you do that at our event? And do you do classes in it?" And for some strange reason, I said, "Yeah, I can do classes because I've done fight training." Not really realizing what I'd actually said. And I thought, well, I'm sure I could remember enough of like what we were asked to do. And basically, I put together a 30-minute class where I now teach everybody the basics, pretty much how we were taught on the set. And I teach them a little bit of the fight, the Duel of the Fates fight. Obviously quite condensed, but we put together a few of the moves so everybody gets to have a knockabout at the end of the thing. The real perk now is a couple of years ago, I upgraded the lightsabers, so I've now got full-size replica lightsabers for people to fight with.
Nice.
Real lightsabers?
See in the picture. Yeah, with the polycarbonate blades. Those are the souvenir lightsabers you can actually buy from me at events.
Oh, shit.
Which are 3 foot tall. They are retractable perspex, and they have sound and motion sensors. So they're very good to play and knock around with. But I sign them personally to you with a certificate of authentication. And that's the unique thing you can get from me. I'm currently the only person who's been in a Star Wars film that teaches a class. The only other person that comes close is Ray Park, but Ray tends to do demonstration
He does.
More. He does do the odd bit of class here and there, but he tends to do it with people that, again, have been hired for a display and they sort of reenact a bit of the fight. Sadly, and I can imagine why. Can you imagine what Ray rocking up with about 10 double-bladed lightsabers and trying to teach a class? I mean, they weigh a ton, for God's sake. I mean, I struggle with, like, I bring 20 of them. I rock up with a flipping golf flight bag on wheels, with my mini armory. And I also have practice lightsabers made of perspex because I teach the basics on that. And then the big surprise reveal is that you get to play with the real thing.
So you and Darth Maul are still at odds, and you're like, oh, he's teaching over there, and I'm teaching over here.
It's funny.
Yeah, I mean, he's, remember that Ray's more known and recognized than me. He's done other films. He had a bigger part in the film. He's known for X-Men and other things, so he's kind of higher up the food chain than me. But I am at the moment, I say this because you never know what's going to happen with people. I am currently the only person who's been in a Star Wars film whose job it was part of to do that. And I teach it pretty much as it was done on set.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I say this because sadly what's happened over the last few years is that there have been a few sort of martial art groups and even cosplay groups that actually sort of try and do the same thing as me, and in some places actually copy what I do. But none of
is it you that does it at MCM?
Pardon?
Is it you that does the Jedi training at MCM Comic Con?
No, it isn't.
I've seen that.
No, it isn't.
Rat bastards. Sorry.
Who are they called? I think they're a lightsaber school called Saber Force or something. And they're pretty good. They're all right and stuff, but they're basically a bunch of martial art kendo guys who are swapping the kendo sticks for lightsabers. And yes, kendo is part of the fight technique of the thing. But the thing is, none of those people have been in Star Wars. None of them have worked with the people in Star Wars who do the fights and stuff. And they kind of do their own thing. I mean, I think they're insured or, a bit, but I don't know. I mean, I'm fully, I'm the real McCoy. I've been in the film.
Yeah.
You're fucking Qui-Gon.
I've got an intermediate/advanced VADA fight certificate. I've had it for 25 years.
Now,
I'm DBS advanced checked. I'm a first aider. I've got public and performance liability insurance up to 10 million quid. I mean, I run it as it's required. Yeah. And basically I promote the brand as well, because I'm obviously very grateful that the Star Wars people gave me a job. So I basically just reenact what I was hired to do as my job.
Now, Alex,
so if you've done my class, then you're doing it with somebody who's been in the film. You're doing it with somebody who did it as it was.
Real Jedi.
Well, yeah, and the sad thing is that, like, I find now in certain fields, I'm fighting my corner against some of these people, and I shouldn't have to. But again, it's up to the organisers who they want to hire. Sometimes it comes down to like money, but I don't think I'm ever going to get away with that. I'll be brutally honest. Some of these people were doing it before I was around, but they're not in the film. They're not actors.
I got credits right here.
Something else, but they are nothing to do with Star Wars.
Yeah.
Tom, Alex, you had a question.
Yes, I definitely had a question. Alex, how far do you live from Andrew? Is he like a traveling distance for you?
I'm in Shrewsbury, so where are you, Andrew?
I'm in sort of northwest London, sort of Camden, Swiss Cottage.
Far.
Okay, I need
So
one
I'm
of
not
us.
too far, but I actually have family up in the Midlands, just outside Birmingham,
Oh,
which is fairly near Shrewsbury.
The only reason I ask is I really want one of us to take your class now. I think that it's important to support. I think that you are a lovely person with an amazing, side gig that is, really for the right reasons. And I wanted it to be Alex, but Alex doesn't like to go places because he's, busy
You
guy.
should
But
go.
yeah.
Maybe I can take TS and Jamie. And
Yeah.
we can see who's the better Jedi. Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
yes, please.
Yes.
Honestly, I agree with Tom because I want to help support Andrew any way I can. And if this prequel for Obi-Wan is going to be a thing, I want to let our voices be heard that we want Andrew back in it as well, at least some part, because I honestly, you look great. And you're in great shape, and you're doing all these things for everyone, trying to promote the sort of Jedi ways for everyone, and show that you were in Star Wars, and that's a great thing to do. And it would be foolish of them to pass you up if they were to do an Obi-Wan prequel.
I agree.
It would. That's very lovely of you to say that. I also, in forming the fight school, as well as having something nice and unique and genuine for the fans, is that I very much saw it as a way of keeping kids fit and healthy and active.
Yeah.
It's very beneficial for mental health because it helps coordination and cognitive behavior. It helps with interactive skills. I've set up in the last couple of years, I've set up a little sort of residence school at one of the local small theatres in London in the school holidays. So if kids want to come and do it in the school holidays, they can.
That's amazing.
So there is always an element of it's not just, something that I do as a job, as part of, one of my jobs that I do.
Yeah.
It's something that I sort of use to kind of give back to people or give to people. And I think, Alex, you may still remember this. And I always believe, because of the position that we're in, not just in Star Wars, but generally as actors, if people come to the conventions and the events, is that they've paid to enjoy the event. So you need to give your time. You need to be generous. I'm nearly always one of the last guests out of the hall. If there's 10, 15 people in a row, I'll sit and sign your pictures and sign your lightsabers and talk to the kids. Because you could have been standing there an hour and you paid 30, 40 quid to go and have a look around the whole thing. And this might be the big thing for you or your kids or something. And
that's heartbreaking to hear.
Can we organize something? Can we actually do something? Because I'd love that. When the world opens again, I'd love for us to come and meet you, maybe in a park somewhere, bring some lightsabers, have a thrash around, and then we could do some promo.
I mean, I'd love to do it as soon as possibly can. I mean, sadly, all the conventions are closed, and they will be for a while. But one thing I have started doing to try and get round this is I've started experimenting with some Zoom lightsaber classes, which feels a bit weird my end, but has kind of works.
It's like the Star Wars hologram. You're training still.
Or an opportunity.
It's like Star Wars on Zoom. It's like I did one for a couple of kids as a birthday treat for a friend a couple of weeks ago, and it was bonkers because the parents also joined in. And I could see them in the living room. They had the lightsabers, and I'm in the gazebo I've mocked up with a bit of sparkly cloth backdrop to kind of make it look a bit spacey.
I
Doing
feel
these
like
moves on my own, I go, this is a bit weird, but
I feel like there's a missing opportunity. Ready? Watch this, Alex. You're gonna do some improv with me. I'm a Jedi who has the Force. Actually, no, I'm a Sith. You can't be a Jedi. I'm gonna Force grab you right now and choke you a little bit over the internet. Ready? Watch this. Ready? Yeah, look at that fucking Jedi power right there.
Harder, Daddy, harder.
That's not. That's not Jedi. Jedis don't choke. bro.
Yeah, please don't watch us, Qui-Gon. This is filthy.
Well, as far as
We
acting is
can't have a
concerned,
body
Andrew.
count here. There wasn't a rider for a body count. You know that, don't you?
Yeah, I know, right?
As far as your acting career has gone after Star Wars, did things blossom for you? What have you been doing since then? Obviously, it was a long time ago.
What have I been doing since then? God, I've done loads. TV and film wise, I've done things like Murphy's Law. I've done EastEnders twice. I've recently done a thing called Prime Suspect 1973, which is like a prequel to the Helen Mirren series. I recently did Pennyworth, the Gotham.
yeah.
Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah. See, me and David understand that. That's Batman speak.
My agent and I have been sort of trying to badger them for the last 6 months because of lockdown to see if they're going to bring me back in season 2 because they're filming it at the moment.
I see you as a Batman, flat out. Like, if you're not cast as Batman, I don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I had to cover up.
Well,
Yeah.
we were before the lockdown. My agent and I were talking to the Batman people of the new film about trying to get me seen for something on that. So, but as you can imagine, loads of stuff has been shot to bits. I play the Sergeant Major in the flashback in Pennyworth. So I could sort of turn up anywhere in the story if they did bring me back, and it would be nice to come back because I think it's quite a fun period thing to work on.
And
So
you're in great shape. I mean, it'd be foolish for anybody not to hire you to bring you back for a reoccurring role.
So you've been in this.
I've sort of got to a position now where I've worked on a few things that have gone on and evolved. It's like I was the guest villain in Top Boy, which is now on the 4th series.
It's a big series.
The Channel 4 Top Boy thing about the drug dealing thing in Hackney. I was in that.
It's a big show.
And
It's about gangsters.
now, and they could bring me back in that. They could bring me back in EastEnders. You know, it's a question of like what they want to do with the producers and the writers, and you know,
EastEnders. Tom is only like one of the biggest soaps in the UK. Fucking heat.
Yeah. Once again,
Only one of the biggest.
Yeah, we're American over here,
Yeah.
bro. We don't see that stuff. Now, that has nothing to do with Andrew. Now that I know Andrew, I would have more of a reason to watch these shows knowing, like, talking to Andrew now than I ever would in a million years. If you'd be like, hey, Tom, do you want to watch EastEnders? I'd be like, fuck you, Alex. You'd be like, hey, Tom, do you want to watch the show Andrew's been on? I'd be like, fuck yeah, I do.
Okay, my obsession with Jack the Ripper, and I hear EastEnders, I'm like, East End of Whitechapel? Is that what we're talking? We're talking about murders? Yes, I'm down.
Yeah, the only thing Americans know. You've been in you've been involved in 3 of the biggest universes ever around, right? I mean, fucking Ghostbusters, Star Wars, Batman universe. That's a really impressive resume.
Ghostbusters, I don't really count, but I do.
I do.
Yep, you were in there. You're still in there.
If they were to do a director's cut, you'd be in there.
I'm not on the credits because my thing was cut. You know, this was another awful thing, is that I wasn't even credited on the film. But, you know, I have the memory and I have the experience, and I will never forget watching those 2 guys impro. And it's amazing what you learn and what you can use. Wherever, how far down the line. I love going to watch people when I'm on film and TV sets. I love watching the other actors work. And the more things that I'm in with people who I know and respect, the more I enjoy it. You know,
obviously with the world being closed at the moment, there's no Comic-Cons. There are probably limited acting roles. Theaters aren't open, etc., etc., etc. How are you coping for all this? Because you're a member of the arts industry. So how are you?
Where am I coping? It has its ups and downs. I've been doing a lot of training to become a lot more au fait with like Zoom and Skype. So I've been doing things on that. I've been doing a lot more voice work, voice-based projects. And I wouldn't rule out sometime in the future trying to get involved in some sort of Star Wars cartoon animation thing. It's a shame the Clone Wars is finished.
Yeah.
So I've been developing that a lot more to try and keep things going. And I'm very lucky that I seem to be one of a bunch of actors who's actually been seen for the few bits that are being done.
Nice.
I have a lot of friends that are not being seen for things at all, or few and far between. And I've been seen for quite a few little bits and pieces. So that's nice.
Fuck yeah.
Even if you don't get them, the fact that they're calling you in is, you know that you're in that running.
I mean, David has started his OnlyFans page to get himself by. He's shaking that ass for $3
No. Okay, so honestly, Andrew, I have out here in Southern California, I have close friends of mine that I've helped volunteer for their sort of convention that they've been putting together for the past, well, obviously not this year, but previous to 3 years. It's called.
I'll come. You book me. I'll come to California.
I want to talk to the guy because last year for Nerdbot, it was a Nerdbot convention at Pasadena. Last year we had Ray Parker there with us in the same room, and he was just signing autographs, doing the demonstrations and everything. And so, I want to put in a good word and see what I can do about when everything opens up, bringing you out here and getting you into the fucking convention because that would be amazing.
Great. That'd be lovely. Yeah. Well,
LA.
I actually did my first event in America last year in Nashville, Tennessee.
Oh,
I haven't sort of done America yet.
Yeah, you need to come to Vermont. It's the LA of the East, I think they call it.
Sort of done. Hang on, we're on the move. My house making the kettle on. We're in the forbidden zone. Hang on.
To see that Qui-Gon Darth Maul rematch though would be just amazing, right?
It would, because honestly, Ray, he's in great shape too, and he's a great guy.
Andrew's sitting right there. Don't say those things.
The thing is, right? Here's the strangest thing, right? I haven't actually seen Ray for about 20 years because we've not bumped into each other, and it is something I have suggested. But you see, because I was the stand-in double, right, and bearing in mind that Ray did most of his stuff with Liam, and a few bits with me, but he would have also done bits with the stunt double, which was oh bugger, what was his name? He's now the stunt coordinator on the new films. Rob Inch, right? I think he only kind of vaguely remembers me because remember, right? You've got a whole bunch of guys who are working alongside each other who very rarely see each other outside of costume.
Yeah.
So you've got Ray walking around with a load of like red and black paint and horns and shit. You've got me with a long girly wig and a beard and God knows what, and capes and stuff. And I remember one day I only saw Liam a couple of times. Liam came out of his trailer. There was me standing in one corner. There was Rob Inch in another corner. And we were all three of us are dressed in our Qui-Gon Jinn costume. And he just turned and looks at both of us and he goes, "So which one of you is me?" And we were laughing, but film is that bonkers. And so I don't think, I mean, we're on each other's Instagram, Twitter page, but we don't really sort of talk. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know
him a little bit to kind of work with, but I don't really know him. But I have suggested it, some other Star Wars dudes, but nobody's picked up on it. And I think it would be great. Not wishing to put myself out of a job, I think it would be great if they got Liam and Ray.
Yeah. I see like you and Ray.
I am very respectful of,
I see you guys like you're in an airport terminal. All of a sudden, you're just walking by, and you guys catch each other's eyes. You drop your bags, and all of a sudden, lightsabers fucking come out all out of nowhere. Yours is signed and CC'd by you, which makes it better. So fucking like literally, then all of a sudden, Duel of the Fates pops up for some reason over like and it just works out, man.
on the carriage carousel.
Apart from
Like,
the bit-
Yes.
It's great. And then suddenly we get surrounded by about 15 members of the National Guard with guns all pointed at us.
You got a
You guys
lightsaber,
are
bro.
right. You guys are right. You'll be fine. You'll be fine.
Oh
Oh,
no.
yeah, I've got my public liability insurance at 10 million quid. I'll be great. Yeah. Just shoot my ass, you know.
Got a lightsaber, bro. Fucking ding ding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just reflect that
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah,
don't.
I'll take a
Doesn't
look
work
at
like
him and go, that's an M16, isn't it? And he'll go, yep, that's damn right. I go, this is the lightsaber with midi-chlorian crystals. And he's like, what? And you think, M16 lightsaber. Ooh, tough call.
leads into his mate Comic-Con's back on again. Oh, that makes sense.
It's not
Maybe
meth.
I
It's
could just go up to
midichlorian
him and go, buy me a
calcium.
cheeseburger, you must.
Well, look,
You got to call here and eat in and out.
all right, we're coming to the towards the end of the show. Has anybody got any dying questions for Andrew before we get out of here?
Falling off the camera or something.
Yes, I do.
Joking. I'm just joking. It's a
No, it's all good. I do have a question for Andrew. Now,
Sorry.
legendarily, Liam Neeson has the biggest penis in Hollywood. Don't you be giving that look, Alex. Don't be giving that fucking look.
I can't believe you
Yeah,
played
give it a
that
look.
card. I was like, do we do that? I don't know.
Yeah, I am doing that. Now, when they pull you in to be his double, do they take all the measurements?
Yes, they do. But of course, you must know that the measurements are always based on the size and dimensions of the lightsaber handle.
Yeah,
So
that
it's
makes
pretty
sense.
easy.
But you got to remember, they're in the metric system. We're American.
Yeah. That's right. All my ends.
Apparently, the Star Wars costumes only came in 3 sizes: small, medium, and Liam. So that's
Oh, brilliant. Fantastic.
That's fucking great.
Yeah.
Andrew, you've been there. I'd love to do this again.
You do know I'm now going to get punched, don't you?
Oh, he's
Next
gonna
time
love
I
that.
tell you,
Yeah, we'll stop it. We'll
I'm
help
going
you.
to get one of those taken punches.
No way. No guy has ever hit another guy for saying that he has a big dick. That's never happened. All it's gonna be is like, hey man, thanks.
He's
Thanks
gonna
for putting the
Andrew's
word
gonna
out there.
pick. He's gonna pick up his phone later. He's gonna have voicemails. I have a particular set of skills. I will find you and I will kill you.
No, he'd probably say something like, I have a particular size of trousers that I think you might fit.
That's awesome.
You heard the Battle of the Bulge, right?
I like it.
Oh, okay. Look,
Is that an Ewok in your paper? Are you pleased to see me? Yes, I know.
Yeah.
Andrew, you've been fantastic. I'd love to do this again. When
This fight thing then?
sorry.
How are we going to set up the fight thing?
I'll chat to you on Facebook after this, and we'll get something planned. I definitely want to do
Yeah.
this. I think it'll be really
I'm not
fun.
going to come to Pasadena, have I?
I'll talk to you after this.
Yeah,
you
Pasadena, that'd be nice. Tom, where are you?
Nowhere you want to go. Fucking nowhere at all. The closest thing to me that's actually semi-interesting is either Boston or New York City. So if you go one of those places, totally, that's worth your time
I've
because
been
then.
to both. I've
Well,
been
there
to
you go.
both.
Yeah, you've never been to Burlington, Vermont, buddy. It's really it's great to look at, but it's not great to do things. And it's not unless you're Fish or the Grateful Dead. You know they do pretty well here for some reason. I don't know, but like dude. Next time that you're in like when everything ends, next time you're in Boston or like one of the metropolitans, man, I will definitely drive out there to meet you because you've just been an amazing guest.
Oh,
Andrew
thank
Lawden,
you.
everybody.
Really appreciate.
Well, I would be up for coming. I'd definitely be up for coming all of those.
Fantastic. Right, look, we need to see off the show.
Tour of America, couldn't you?
Yeah,
Oh,
Set it up. Do like,
story of
you
my
know,
life. Story of my
Yeah,
life.
That'd be
I mean,
amazing.
you could start in New York and then go to Boston and then
come out to
I guess
Pasadena.
go over to Pasadena. And
Yeah,
where else am I going to go?
LA. It's not too far from Pasadena. It's right there.
You shut your mouth.
well, LA's lovely. I got friends in LA. I mean, it'd be great. It really would be great. I might be I might be coming back to Tennessee next April, again, depending on what happened.
Okay.
If that helps. But obviously, I mean, it would be nice to kind of set up those events again because it hasn't been done. It's places I haven't been.
Yes.
And if you want, if any of you wants anything in the run up to Christmas, I've got the lightsabers that sign with a certificate. I've also got. I sent you a picture. I've also got Jedi lightsaber key rings.
Yeah.
So do you have a website? Do you sell these off of that you want to let everyone
Yeah,
know?
they're on the if you go to now let me get this right. I think it's wix.com/Andrew Lawden's Jedi Fight Academy. They're on there, but basically I've also got the Jedi Fight Academy page on Facebook, and I put promotions up. So if you want to get one, those are the full size ones in that picture.
Nice.
But the ones that you've shown the pictures of, they're like the smaller. They're a bit like toys, but they're kind of durable. But the great thing is, you push a button, they light up, and they make the noise. So when you fight with them, it's cool. And I sign them personally to you with a certificate because basically, there's a lot. Let's face it, there's a lot of crap on the internet, isn't there?
Oh yeah.
And the reason I do that is, again, being respectful to Lucasfilms and Disney and everybody else. It validates you are buying something from a genuine Star Wars actor.
Yes.
You're buying something that I sign because I was in the film, and that's why I sell it to you. I basically sell you my signed thing.
Yeah.
That's
I really
great.
like it.
Not Joe Schmo on eBay or whatever. And again, you can have something as little or as big as you like. So if you just want a little key ring, that's the sort of cheaper end of the spectrum. And then, I mean, I don't have a lot of stuff. I sort of believe in like less is more. You know, I try and find things that people would like, although they're a bit different. You know,
Right.
like there's loads of Jedi mugs, so I don't do them. But there's not loads of Jedi lightsaber key rings, is there?
No.
You need lightsaber.
So I try and look at stuff that's again, keep it unique, keep it. So when you come to me, you get something that's unique.
Nice.
Because I'm unique. I'm
Well,
not
listeners-
like Tom Cruise or you know, Sam Jones or Liam Neeson. You know, we're all different.
Yeah.
But you know, you go to some events, and I've learned this a lot from going to a lot of the events. Some people just sell the same stuff.
Yeah,
and
they do.
you think, oh, come on. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
And I
listeners, make
just-
sure you check out Andrew's
again,
lightsabers.
It's this giving, you know, again, it's this giving back thing. It's like I've been given a really good job, and I have a very good job to work on things with wonderful things. So if you're in a position where you're dealing with like fans, the give back needs to be good, and it's like
Right.
standards and it's things, and you know, it's why I say if you're going to book the Fight Academy, book me. Don't go and book the other guys because, well, I've already said why.
Yeah.
You'll
Right,
get
okay.
a similar thing, but you won't get it from me. You won't get.
We need to end this show. What I'm going to do is, Andrew, I'm going to play your VT to see us out, and then I'll end the show at the end. Yeah, well, hopefully it'll work properly this time. Before we do that, though, I want to say congratulations to the team, of the whole USUK team. We've got four shows available on USUK. I'll bring up the thing here. You got USUK Chronicles with Jamie and Tom. You got USUK What's the Difference with me, Tom Bruno, and Kenny Aldrich. You have the Weekly Bazaar with me, Lucy Orchard, and Shane Chebsey. And of course, you've got what you're watching right now, USUK Live. So make sure you check that out. And actually, the guys from Chronicles have released their episode today with Broken Jaw. And it's the 125th episode released on the network. So well done, guys. Kicking ass. Absolutely kicking ass. Ladies and
Yes.
gentlemen,
And the USUK exclusive on the thing now. If you want stuff for Christmas,
Yeah. Go buy some lightsabers, kids.
yes,
Yeah.
get some
just
lightsabers.
drop me
I
online.
mean-
I mean, they're cheap. I can post them to America. I can post them around Britain. You know,
Absolutely. Well, we're going to show
just
you a
do a
VT,
list,
and
just do a list, tell me how many you want, and if some big box rocks up, if you want, do all your family and friends, it's like that's Christmas sorted.
absolutely. Let's play this VT, and then we'll get out of here. Okay, 3, 2, 1, and flip plays.
No! Again!
I don't know why
Again!
it's doing that. I downloaded the whole thing, so I don't know why it's doing that.
Bad.
We'll share it. We'll share it on our Facebook, Andrew. We'll do that.
The bit where I do the tap routine with the lightsaber. I mean,
I don't know why it's doing that. It's literally just like, you know what, Whiteley, fuck you. You're not doing a show today. Like, we're not going to do it. I'm very sorry, Andrew. What we'll do is we'll share that. I've got the video. I'll share it on our Facebook page and group. So make sure you check that out. And give Andrew a follow. Have you got an Instagram and stuff or Twitter or anything like that you want people to follow you on?
Yeah. You can either follow me or follow the Jedi Fight Academy or follow both. On Instagram and Twitter, I'm at 2b2b or the Jedi Fight Academy. Jedi Fight Academy has its page on Facebook as well. So do I. You'll find me. I'm easy to find. The Fight Academy has its website.
All right.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
We've had no comments
Just drop me a
through.
line and tell me what you want and where you want it sent, and we'll set it up.
Fantastic.
And it doesn't cost an arm and a leg. I'm not one of these people that charges like 50 quid for a signed photo. Today I'm not in that ballpark, and also I kind of think maybe if I was in Mark Hamill's shoes or Alan Rickman's shoes, bless me, if he was still alive, maybe there is a way of justifying that, and I think it's more to do with agents and bookers why those fees are what they are. And again, I don't mean that disrespectfully to the artist, but I do think some of the charges for things are a bit excessive.
I think so too. Too. Well, we're not going to charge you with any more of your time.
If I was Tom Cruise and worth 50 million quid, I wouldn't be turning up at Comic Cons and asking for $100 a photo. You know what I mean? It's like, really? Unless I got a massive tax bill, or do you know what I mean? To me, it just seems a bit bonkers.
Yeah.
And let's face it, we're living in a time where a lot of people are struggling. A lot of people are finding it hard to just get on and get stuff. So you know what? Keep it reasonable.
Exactly.
Keep it reasonable. Andrew, I love you so much. Thank you so much for coming on.
We appreciate you and love you so much, man. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Wednesday, USUK Wednesday night live. And this has been Andrew Lawden. I've been Alex Whiteley.
I'm Tom Bruno.
I'm drunk.
We're going to get
Shane gets well soon.
Yeah, get well soon, Shane. We love you. And we'll catch you guys at the same time next week. Peace out.
Yeah.